Namaste, Jai Bharat. Obviously, the US wants to control all nations in the world. The US, assuming themselves as the most powerful nation in the world, which is right. They are still the most powerful nation in the world. They have something like 800 bases, if I am not wrong, all over the world. So they want to control everyone. Whether it's a positive control, friendly control, or controls based on threatening. But is it really possible for them to control all nations in the world? Certainly no. For instance, they can't even dream of controlling Putin, Russia. They can't dream of controlling China. And of course now, they can't control Bharat. There must be so many other nations there are. So, in spite of all that, they try to control. And the place Asia, they have no US obediently people beyond a point. The Pathans are not controllable by US. They have been trying for many years and achieved nothing. And Iranians, the Persians are a great people with one of the oldest civilizations on the globe. Don't you think that they have that historical background and they just won't yield? They can't be controlled. So in Asia particularly, they just can't control Russia, they can't control China, they can't control Bharat, and many other people given a chance won't listen to US. Many others who listen to US are listening for the time being under compulsion, but the time being will do for US. But nonetheless, they want to have a say. They want to control, and they are trying that. Now, there's a problem. The US is in a big confusion, especially Trump is in a big confusion that who would they support? China or Bharat? China has already been supported by virtue of sending many US companies to China for production, and they have become very rich, number 2 in the world, and in time they can overtake US. When you talk about the GDP calculation and the purchasing power calculation, I think China would go beyond US in no time. Perhaps already they are. Now there was a long plan by many people to shift the multinational companies from China to places like Bharat, not necessarily Bharat, where cost of production shall be less, other problems maybe shall be less. Is one advantage of China is that it's an iron regime. It's a corporate but with communist discipline. But democracy, you can't expect such discipline. So that shortcoming and that drawback shall always be there for anyone who is coming into Bharat to invest. But with a strong government, these things can be overcome easily. There won't be problems perceivable. There won't be. There can be a comfortable coexistence. The advantage of Bharat is that language of people do understand language, and we have resources, more capable people, more capable mind, and more trained mind. Not simply copycats. They're very innovative people, and they can improvise things and work. So that advantage is there, and more skilled. All that advantage is there. But the Americans are still confused and shall remain confused for a long time. Who would they support from their side for buying, for getting their things produced, China or Bharat? That confusion remains. Which one they should choose? Confusion remains. They don't want Bharat to become. But Bharat is growing faster. In spite of all these war dramas all around the world, the economic strength of Bharat is progressing, still going ahead. And the nation's togetherness is formidable. But there is one difficulty, that this is predictable so long as the present regime continues in Bharat. It's democracy. In democracy, suppose there's a different government comes, like Congress, who are not committed to the nation. They are committed to themselves. So if they come again, chances are very, very, very less. Then there may be a dilly-dally. But normally in Bharat, what happens is the national policies are usually left untouched. There's no political interference normally, but except in larger policies. So the US has to now decide whether to support China, who are ever deceptive. That's one thing you can take for granted. They don't trust you, you don't trust them. Of course, you are not trustworthy, they are also not trustworthy. Stability, fidelity, you can't expect. Everything is temporary for the time being and only temporarily productive. And aggressive plans China has. They have aggressive plans with the present regime. But all these things are absent in Bharat. Bharat is trustworthy. It's not just because I am from Bharat, I say. That had been our history. You don't have to trust me. You find out, look at the history. There's no instance that we cheat people. There had never had been a case that Bharat has backstabbed anyone. Never in the history. And we have never attacked anyone other than reaction. We must have reacted very strongly. And that strong reaction is off late. In the past, we have reacted when Alexander came, fine. But after 1947, this government was so soft, and we wanted to walk in the path of peace, ideally, which of course is foolish. That's not what Bharatiya text support you suggests. It's not that passive peace loving; it's active peace loving. Non-violence is violence or strength included. Until one is strong in all aspects, you can't afford to be non-violent. Nobody will listen to you. You can practice non-violence when you are sufficiently strong, not by keeping idle, not by lying down, not by showing the other cheek to the other person, the slap once, but no, that's not the principle. Look at all the deities in Bharat. They all have weapons in their hand, and weapons are not for fun. So when needed, one should react. So Bharat is becoming strong economically, militarily, many in most, and of course we have that tremendous potentials of great minds in Bharat. Artificial intelligence, technology, they all our youngsters are progressing. So that the Americans and other Europeans feel want to consider as a threat to them. Actually, it's not a threat to them. There's a threat of invasion, intellectual invasions that you can't avoid. That was the case in the past also. And that shall be the case in the future, possibly. But then we are not a destructive characters, we don't want to destroy anyone. But we would remain strong. But we don't want to do world policing, all those things. We have no time for that. We won't waste our energies towards that. That never had been our history of intervening in the affairs of others. We don't. So, this confusion remains whether to support China, who would necessarily destroy them, or stab them from back, or Bharat, you can trust. That is, of course, they're trustworthy people. Only thing, don't play. Stop playing with us. Stop trying to be funny with us. Don't stop sending a spy aircraft for your kind of getting informations. All these things will be faced, will be taken seriously, and we will react to that. So we shall meet with some other thoughts. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Siya Ram.